Beautiful people, most welcome. I'm Charlotte. So today, let's touch a very important issue that is running wild in society, and which is actually finding your purpose that comes through passion only. And with it, you find everything you had ever dreamed of. But the truth of the matter comes through detaching an entire lifetime of debris, density, negativity, everything we thought that was truth is going into the inversion. So what I'm doing in all my videos is inverting everything you have ever learned in order for you to stream truly in this new golden age that has opened wild and widely all over the planet. And the shifts in consciousness, the shifts in one's life, the shifts in businesses are going to be massive from now on, because the old world is collapsing, and we will witness that every day. So keep out of the news, keep out of social media, and anything that keeps you in a large scale of attachment. Attachment may derive in the first place coming from your parents, attached to certain patterns, attached to a certain form of education, attached to a certain belief system. So we need to break down all these old mental barriers that keep us essentially from achieving the highest lifestyle we have ever wished for, which is being in the first place. Being what? Let me know in the comments. Being what? Being happy, you know? Being happy doesn't mean you need to be a millionaire. It doesn't mean, you pick on somebody else's vibration to make you satisfied or feel happy and all that stuff. It comes from owning the self. When you own yourself, you own everything. And so all those platforms about, manifestation, doing the things on the spot, and becoming a millionaire, all that comes to you when you find your passion. When you find your passion, purpose follows up. When you find your purpose, your fulfillment um, follows up and expand. When you find fulfillment, you open up new skills. So let's break that a little bit down, so we all come into a larger level of understanding. Because when we detach from the old, we can open new perspectives in the brain and overcome the ego. We have all been born in ego consciousness, so many of the incoming children, let's put it that way, will be born uh, directly in spirit consciousness, no more ego. So that will be a great learning zone for parents, because these children will not allow it. They are here for the new educational systems, new light universities, for the restoration of the planet, the elements, the animal kingdoms, and all species actually. And what we have started out actually 20 years ago. And so the first thing from moving out of anything that is old lifestyle, anything that was not satisfactory, meaning businesses, jobs, relationships, connections, a way of educating, ways of entertainment, whatever you fancy in your life, and you do know it doesn't meet up your satisfaction or fulfillment or a joyful life, then you need to eliminate and move into a space in which you can detach every time. There's techniques for everything. So I have a university started out on my website, the Light Universities, with massive seminars and stuff. But let's continue here. The first thing we can do is being honest with self. So we may write down every step of the way in every category of life, you know, what is not satisfactory for us. And then the next step into that is accept it. When we accept it, we invite ourselves a broader vision, and we also find a lot more support, because the energy of acceptance allows a lot more growth. And so we can move on and stream in these solutionary patterns. Uh, what will bring my solutions to change from one lifestyle into the other? Find my passions, and how do I actually do that? How do I start out? You know, there needs to be a starting point. Like today, we are overthrown, overwhelmed with, let's say, educational possibilities, self-education, with mentoring programs, with coaching, with so much, and it's all about re-educating. And so you could start out to really experience many platforms you never tasted before, because the best way and the quickest way to move forward is start out, let's say, for example, 7 experiences in 1 month time. So after that month, you can decide how to move, uh, and where to move, and what are your choices in all these possible options. And that is so different for everybody. So maybe you could try out a starting point with eliminating everything, what is the old cycles, through coaching, through an online seminar, through a live seminar, through books, through meeting people in the community, getting into the philosophy of life, and creating something new. I mean, there's so many different roads. So I have a 15 weeks online for those who fancy that. That gets you out of the old and into a light body, light environment, and thus your origin, in which you eliminate everything that was old. So there's like 22 MP3s for the elimination process. Sorry, can't pronounce the R. I had an accident, so I'm sorry for that. And so from there on, we can start manifesting, but we need to become crystal clear about what we would like to manifest and how we are going to find that passion. So another option I have here for those interested, I have that book, Manifesto Consciousness, in which you write out a complete new structure, a complete new plan. You make that crystal clear, you rewrite it. There's also a setup to move that in your divine reflection time, in which you get the ideas to move truly into your passion first, because your passion has all the skills, and maybe many of your skills are so dormant. They need to wake up, because a lot of those skills and a lot of your knowledge and a lot of your wisdom and intelligence are hidden in the levels of your subconsciousness and deep subconsciousness, or we may have hidden it through birth or through many experiences. I have that video on the ladder of experience, in which I expose a very funny experience in the grids with myself. The link is in the description. Watch that video, it's funny. So I don't always make funny videos, but I want to be informative. I want to connect with you. So let me know about certain important experience zone in the comments. I'm very interested, so we can unify and more people dare to share. Dare to share, that's the first thing we need to do. Daring to communicating is daring to detach from the old as well. So and there's but one starting point. The starting point is right now. It's today. You start today. You make one choice, reflect on it, and stick to your choice so you can experience 4, 5, 6, or 7 different experiences in a month time. And from these experiences, you start to define somehow what kind of highway you will take and in which amount of time. So what I represent is the quickest highway, not the sliding, you know, small roads in between. I go straight to the divine. I've been educated by the universe for 20 years right now. So I don't follow up. I have been more than a monk. Being a monk in this society, I've heard, is we need to merge every faculty. So there's many missing links in the faculties of a monk because they don't merge with society. So we need to merge that. Being a billionaire has many missing links. Being, you know, a professor has many different links, missing links, and both are correct, different and missing. So I would say I've been educated like a hermit in society by the universes, by the cosmos, in order to understand our origin, how to get back into a light body and remain here in an eternal body, moving completely immortal, and remain here for the next hundreds of years for the repair of the planet, the elements, and the animal kingdom. So that is what I have for you. I know I need to come out and bring it to you. So reason why I came to YouTube. So all the new YouTubers, very welcome. Thank you for subscribing. I come out with a video every day to motivate you, to give you new possibilities to move truly out of the old lifestyles, because the old is collapsing. So what we see a lot of as well on the job is they require people to be stressed, to deal with stress and that stuff, and that is so out of alignment. Why would you need to be able to deal with stress on the job? Why did they create stress? That word in itself creates stress, right? So it doesn't make sense. As so many other things, like today, like a simple administration officer needs to know how to do the accountancy, needs to know how to be a designer, needs to know, social media, needs to be an expert on the website. I mean, they require from us that we complete, 5 different jobs in one job, and that is not correct. That needs to change. And if we do not allow that level mentality, disgrace and disrespect, then these businesses will have to close off. And so it's all about us cooperating, assisting, mentoring each other, and coaching. So that is my message here. It is going out of business. Those businesses who are working in truth, elevating their personnel, let's say, their co-creators, and community building, opening that up where children, family members, all are invited on the job, where we create a high level of consciousness, respect, and integrity. These are opening as well, and many of these businesses are moving together. So that's the good news. We only need to get in touch with those, right? And make sure we find the right path. The path was already written or inscripted in gold, in the golden floors of this airplane. So I would say the only starting point is starting now, not to worry about success or monies, but getting to a point where you find your passions. And a lot of time that comes also from eliminating whatever you didn't learn at home with your parents, everything didn't learn in school. Actually, there's no education in school, so you're not even universities, because they have been constricted so much you can't even speak out on that talk, because they would eliminate that talk. So I mean, everything is yeah, restricted and limited, and it doesn't make sense anymore, and that is what we will see from now on. Nothing will make sense. And so those willing to move out of that nonsense and moving in the senses, the higher senses of your origin, the divine, the cosmos is working with us, and every gate of consciousness has opened if we are willing to move in the infinite realms of light in which everything is possible. And that's a choice we can make, because if we want to go unlimited, then we need to claim our unlimited seed in creation, and knowing how to do that. Know thyself, know thy worth, and you will have everything. But yeah, we need to know how to get there. So that is what I'm exposing here. So we need to definitely stop going into the old platforms, of disrespect, of negativity. And if we look at life today, we can consume negative vibrations from social media, from the newscasts, from the entire surroundings, from people, from the hood, in one day what otherwise we would consume maybe over 10 years. You know, you get it? So me, social media, bye bye. Anyways, I'm still on Instagram, but I look at it like once a week or so. I found out I want to move somehow to create these new truthful realities for everybody, and support you, motivate you, give you different options in the incoming years through we. So I didn't post on it yet, so I'm starting that out and will inform you when I will, because it sounds more truthful, more open, more clean, and see how that works, if that works well. I also feel that, I will never move into the metaverse of Facebook. And have you seen? I mean, I think technology is so much behind. I've been talking about it in a few videos ago. It's so much behind. It's working on a binary system. I think my iPhone and my computer is pretty much retarded. It doesn't work fast enough. It requires too many buttons to get anything manifested. I mean to say, if I take a picture or a video like I'm doing, shooting now with my iPhone, I just need to close it off and it should be on my computer automatically generating my thought forms and putting that onto YouTube. That is the quickest way, which is the trinary system, that will somehow come on. And it makes sense, because if we think about the pyramids and everything built in Egypt, that's all a trinary system, a triangle, right? 0, 1, 2, 2, 1, 0. Binary, duality, duality, duality. Move it out, okay? So that's just me. I appreciate all your comments about what do you think about social media. Are you very engaged, or just at times? I mean, nothing is really good or bad. It depends how we apply it, right? I wouldn't like to judge anyone. It's also very informative if we have the right platforms, and it offers great stuff as well. But for me, I want something new. I'm tired of it. It's all so business-like, God, and only business. Like, look at my video, go on my website. Of course, I will promote myself as well, because you gotta know what I am, what I do. But if it's only about business and not really expanding and giving people options regarding education, because education is a non-stop thing in life. It's a non-stop beautiful thing. in which you cherish your growth and you completely move into the origin of yourself, in which you will touch many, many databases, and so you can channel your own knowledge. And when you start to do that, like I'm doing all of the time, yeah, I can never really prepare a video because, I just talk. I feel like the universe is saying, let's have a talk about that on YouTube. Okay, I open my iPhone and I start talking, and I don't care what comes out of me, because we cannot put out volumes and volumes and volumes of information. We need to do that one at a time, so your brains are able to catch up and to make decisions. And so we are moving into a lifetime in which we become self-sustainable knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, and moving out anything that is not self-sustainable in the first place, regarding health, of course. So we need, if we need to go into our passion and finding our purpose and getting a life that is completely fulfilled, then we need to build that structure, right? So that structure can go from, elevating your health to the highest level, doing daily fitness, daily healthy juices, loads of water, loads of minerals and vitamins that are natural, no meatless movement, because it cuts your vibration, it cuts your fitness, it digests the instinct malfunctioning, pain and suffering from animals, because there's a lot of videos about that, right? I don't have to dig deep into that. So my passion somehow opened into behavioral science. I studied behavioral science concerning the animal kingdom and psychology, but we're all animals, right? And so it triggers me how people act, how people think. And when the universe started to educate me 20 years ago about getting back into a light organism and merging that with the organism of the earth, that makes sense because you live on the earth, right? And merging that with everything out there, the galaxies, the universes, into the beyond, the beyond, the beyond. There's many, many things to learn, and grounding that on the planet, that is the highest level of fulfillment you can have, because all the worlds open up. So there's a way to go. And my passion in neurology and behavioral sciences opened up my communication. And that was my first starting point, actually. I like communicating, but I was cut down in very low levels of unworthiness for years and years and years, just because my parents treated me like a slave. And they would always tell me, like, you could do better, you know. And I had to do all of the household. I wasn't allowed to study. Only my sister was treated like a princess, etc., etc. So I left home at the age of 14, provided for myself, and tried to study. But that was quite a liberation, but also a point of confrontation, in which I was always assisted by the universe, because my belief was so strong. My mentality was so strong, like, I will kick everything out of my life that, degrades me ever again. But then I made such a large shift in the past years, that only in the past year, I started to see that if you want to have purpose, you need to find many different levels of your passion. So I'd like to explain that a little bit. Let me know in the comments, what is your passion? And are you able to open that up? If you know your passion, or if you don't know your passion, let me know as well. Thank you. And so I started to see what is neurology, how the brain works. And I started to communicate. I break that down in communication, write articles about it. How do I need to write? by starting to write. That's just that, you know. And then another deep experience that hit me very badly, that was when I was, let's say, the first year in high school, and we needed to do some art class. And in that art class, I needed to get a picture out of a magazine of a face, cut that face in two, and design the other half of the face. And I did that so excellent. That was so great, and I get the highest point ever. But then the teacher came up upon me, because apart from that, I find it very boring, because I couldn't understand anything. I didn't have that artistical vibration, you know, like, what am I doing? I was always scared by that class. And then the teacher came like, this is not like you. You didn't do that. And, you know, I don't want that. It's the best ever, and that is not coming out of your hands. So don't come in my class with lies. And she gave me 0 points. And that was an excellent work, the best I ever did. So from that moment on, as I was cut down in the arts, you know, that's terrible at the age of 13. I never got in touch with art. It was not in my family. It was nowhere. And so, let's say 5 years ago, I got to meet an artist who I treated in psychology with PTSD, and I got it out of his body immediately. I made a video about that as well, that experience about PTSD and getting out of psychotic content. So, and that person told me, just get some canvas and paint and start painting if you want to know if you can do it. And I had so many years of training with the universe, moving into light body, elevating my vibration continuously into, you know, the higher dimensions, and merging with all universes. So that took quite some training. And I started painting, and I couldn't stop anymore. I would paint every day, like, you know, there's a lot of paintings. Here's a few of them. It's not like totally nonsense, right? And that just came out of my hand. I couldn't stop it, because, you know, my source told me, like, if you're passionate about brain capacity and the thinking patterns, and removing the mind and going straight into the brain, opening up that intelligence, then you open up your intelligence and your skills with the universe as an automatic. So I didn't know that all my training opened up so many skills. So I became totally unstoppable from that moment on, which is fabulous, actually. And so I gained my confidence and my trust, which is very important when you open up your passion. So the lesson here, or the message here, is that skills and talents are very much hidden in the levels of subconsciousness we have. So I would certainly advise you to eliminate them, or do that in a private session with anyone, or in a coaching, and spend at least you know, a few days of eliminating the subconsciousness level, and finding your passion, and at least, you know, finding a few experiences for what works best with you. And with it, my artwork, I started painting information upon information upon information, all about psychology and behavioral patterns and cultures and stuff. I could talk 1 hour about one single artwork. And with it, opened another skill. So I painted so much, I made art cards with it. You know, most know that book, The I Am Faculty of Modern Day Ascension. And so I put all my art, the sun is coming up again, on oracle cards. And then I started to write down that information about every card. And from that, I expanded into another skill. So I said to myself, if I'm so passionate about, you know, the reparation of the animal kingdom, because that is the dearest in my heart. I mean, I could cry if I see the suffering of the animals. So yeah, wake up, Charlotte, wake up and get to do, you know, everything is a wake up process. So I started to enroll into a higher education of um, animal behavior and psychology. And I did that in 3 months' time, while most people go through it for 1 or 2 years. And that is because what? Because of light technology. My brain can work so fast. It has one level upon the other. And so that university over in Scotland told me nobody went through that in our entire history so fast as you did, and I got a distinction upon all my projects as well. So that surprised me so much, but I was very careful on one level, like I really want to get that diploma. I set my brains to it. I want to get it in a short amount of time, because after that I may want to get into a master's diploma or whatever. But and that all happened last year. I put out like 10 different seminars, 5 days, 10 days, 15 days. One day I put out my art, classified them. I wrote 3 books, all in 1 year, because I decided to really cut down all the old cords, everything, detachment, getting into harmony, getting back into balance, releasing the old, releasing the fear, and getting a lot of stuff out there. So here I was guided to get onto YouTube, which I started in December. Let's stream it, let's move it, let's go through. I'm only exposing, giving something maybe you can learn from it, because I did so can you. And of course, it takes efforts, it takes some investment, and you need to be good. You need to be willing to go all the way. So if you feel a little bit weak at times, or you feel that you're not that in your strength, so at times in between, whatever your choices are, or if you don't know what your choice is going to be, and you don't want to go through many different levels of experience first, like in 1 or 2 months, then it's maybe a little bit more difficult. Or maybe you do know perfectly clear. Let me know in the comments if you do know what kind of experience you want to explore, and open that path and stick to one thing and grow with it. I can guarantee you will change 360 degrees in 1 year time only, because this age is only about education, intelligence, and wisdom, and moving back in from the broken brains, which is the mind, actually, into the repair of brilliance, mental brains, mental lifestyles. So that is very, very important to do. And I don't know what it is, but I said it in the last past videos always, that sun coming so brilliantly out is because I started whenever I shoot, and I can't perfectly do it during the night, because then the videos don't come out so well. So let me know, is there something you need assistance with or what your passion is, or you feel stuck in finding that passion and opening up, and everything is moving. We've seen that, people work with mantras. I'm a fan of that. I find they're very great, very helpful when sticking to it. You need to stick to something and really move that through. So structure is massively important. Get your structure in your life. Even if you're still on the job, you don't have that much time, then okay, start a schedule, at least get your healthy diet, healthy foods, healthy exercises in, and move that into healthy foods, because health and health needs to match. Then get a structure for your fitness, and then get a structure to, start educating yourself, start eliminating with your choices of coaching, online seminars, live seminars, books, whatever, and let me know what you started out on, so we can help other people that struggle more. in that and have that signs of gratitude going on. So I think if we can start with that and keep on opening that level of gratitude into everything we do, then we can move, because gratitude is so powerful. You're, you know, if you start your morning connection with the universes, that is the highest level of gratitude you may have, because you will be guided all day through. So your connection to your source, your spirit, your spark self, and your light embodiment, your light environment, that needs growth. You know, it doesn't just pop up. We need, the only message I truly have is that we truly need to do the work ourselves. Nobody is going to move for you or do the work. So everything, every light portal from the universe has opened up. It's just up to us to connect and know how to connect. So that is what I essentially want to give people. I want to give people with the fast forward movement and getting out of the old lanes, because then we can refine ourselves. If we find one passion, one skill, one thing that is really beneficial, then we can expand upon that one skill. From that one expansion, meaning to say, one skill opens up in many other skills. Like I was talking about my art, there's information, so I write a book about my art, or I write these cards about my art. So that's another skill, you know, and open that up. So don't stand still with just one platform of education. Allow the many ley lines to go together. Like if you want to be a specialist in assisting, helping people, learn about psychology, learn about neurological output, learn about history, learn how the elements influence that, learn about the environments, and so on. So, and a good starting point as well is about learning about our culture, because we are living the age in which everything is going to merge somehow, somewhere, someday, and we are starting that out today. So there's actually no more holding back. It is impossible to hold back, because if we take that to the higher level of consciousness and we truly want to grow in that, then we need to allow ourselves that particular level of growth. And if we don't, then we stay stuck for ages, perhaps. So we do not want to stay stuck, right? And so let's open that up and break that down. Let me know how you could expand on your passion, because if you find skills, you expand. You find passion, you expand. Expand means breaking down the next levels of the unseen skills. And when you expand with your passion, you start to serve people. And when you start to serve people, you feel fulfillment and you start to expand on that fulfillment. From that fulfillment comes your entire purpose. And so when you expand on your purpose, you get more and more insight. And with more and more insight, you get all the help possibly from the universe. So moving from free will into divine will is truly imperative, because you get everything that you need, because there's armies of light out there that are willing to help you and guide you all the way, and bring through the meetings with the right people that can assist you all the way through that. And when we can acknowledge that, and that already opens up a level of passion and a new level of insight, actually. So I think it is all about making those decisions and staying in that level of gratitude and just asking, because if you don't ask, you don't get, you know. Be grateful, or you could go in that level of thank you so much for bringing the right people onto my path in order to open up my passion, for example. And apply your own mantras that are the most powerful things, and because on the other side, we are creating a wise society, and so eliminating actually the old ways, which is actually the mind. The mind was never meant to be on the airplane. It came with birding in uh, that negative society, the density. And the mind was designed to recycle ego all of the time. So the breaking down of ego and all mental barriers is a necessity, actually. Breaking down every level that is inferior to your highest degrees of living light, or actually your authenticity. So it's very, very important that you stand still someday. You become a hermit, or take a week off, and if you can, and really get to the point where you can low balance. There is techniques to get into a point of balance at all times. There is techniques to detach at all times. There's techniques to eliminate fear. Fear could stand in the way of just about everything, and that is reason why it has been designed. It has been created by the outside world, to keep you in captivity. But we are becoming so clever, and we will see that all that negativity, density, all that old world is collapsing, and so negativity is being returned to sender. We will see this more and more and more this year. People are not going to take it anymore. We are awakening from one level to the next, to the next, to the next. And here we are realizing we need to do the work ourselves, because anything outside there, no single government is going to assist us. It's working, in the inversion, the other way around. We want to capture your brain. We want to make you mentally completely sick. And that is, the road to complete enslavement. So, in the near future, it's not far away. We're gonna have two platforms. One is for those choosing their authenticity and light body, light environment, light becoming light waves like our origin, and those remaining in the matrix. And I feel there's a lot more people right now returning to, not doing the work because it takes too much energy, and wanting to remain in the matrix, in which the brains will not work anymore, because that's a choice, actually. That's a choice. So we should only be concerned about self, your self growth process, and making your choices. And those who need to go once and for all. The same goes on, for any connections we made. Definitely eliminate a very narrow connectivity, a very narrow platform like family members, friends, business people that remain the same for the past 5 or 10 years. That's a terrible thing. Expand, and get to connect to many different cultures via many different platforms. Get to know how these people, move on. Get to know, and spread the word, like more like you want to get into touch with intelligent people, people that are willing to teach you, people that are inspiring, aspiring, and cut off anything less and give the same back. And that is also a point of balance. So there's balance in everything. So here I have a free meditation for those willing to move out of fear So that can be done right now in a short amount of time. And the sun is truly haunting me. Ain't that something? Thank you. So I can hardly see, but yeah, I love talking. I love that. It's part of my passion. And another part of my passion is really taking care of youth and children as they are broken down massively. They are so innocent and they are not in their power and their strength. So that is why I specialize in individual sessions. Get you in your power, eliminate anything that stands in the way to find your passion, and get that done in a few sessions and open then up a new great highway for your growth and opening up where you need to be or in alignment with your source. There's no deeper alignment than getting back to your source. And if you need to be a hermit at times to achieve that, then so be it. So, and that will be guided and will come in perfect alignment. It's like I said, like I lost my job back in February last year. So I said, that's fine. Well, yes, okay. You will see how it unfolds. So I did massive studies, opened massive small businesses I didn't even think of in the first place. But it just enrolled because I'm so in alignment. I align, at least 1 hour or 2 hours in the morning. I align when I take a break. I align at night because it gives so much information, and that information is what brings my passion or my alignment, and that brings the perfection actually. So no matter how I move it, the sun keeps on. It's so funny. So yeah, I'm not getting out of that way. It is just how it works. So yeah, there must be a reason behind it. So thank you for accepting the sun vibrations in here. And let me know if you have found your passion, how you want to expand on it. Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. And thank you for the new subscribers here. And I certainly invite you to the free meditation elimination of all fear, because when fear is eliminated, then breaking down the old mental barriers is a lot easier, and yeah, that will be felt a lot more in the body, and it brings new people, it brings new connections if we are willing to do the work. One thing I'd like to mention more than ever is that most people being born in ego consciousness, we all been born in ego, and we need to rise back into our spirit consciousness and thus need to do the work to get out of that old world, right? And that is actually laziness. Laziness. Many are too lazy to do the work. So if you have that and you know it, and you acknowledge it and you accept it, we've all been there, there's no shame about that. I understand that perfectly. I've, healed many people out of that. So you can do that as well. So you first eliminate that laziness so you can get to work and make choices. And that will already assist me. So to help you out here, it's already a long video, right? I'll pull a card from my art card so you see how that works. I have a great passion for that. So I just do what pops up, and that is being yourself, being authentic. So I'll pull one card, and if you feel authentic and you feel yourself at all times, then you open more passions and you dare being there. You dare to do something more on a deeper level. Oh, that's so beautiful. That card fell out. I love that one. So to the point, I am the art of transformation, the fire that builds. I love the art card. It's the fire vibes with dragon. Look at it. Beautiful, isn't it? So that's card number 4. 4 is a lightning bolt. Allow the lightning bolt of change, you know, the lightning bolt. And you can eventually apply the symbol of a lightning bolt, breathe it through the pituitary gland, and command all your lower levels of unworthiness or what you may have that needs to go before you start to embark on a new journey that is required by everybody. So the lightning bolt of change eliminate laziness, and then from getting out of laziness you can make new choices. So let me know if the video inspires you, if you can make new choices or find it maybe difficult. So that card is of course connected to the element fire. Create a new reality with that card. I'm one with the fire arts of transformation. I am allowing or flowing with the merging of my eternal mate. I'm one with my ultimate goal and universal fire capabilities. That's a few mantras you can apply. So fire is an element that is quite often completely misunderstood. For it can build, but it can or move into the fields of complete destruction. You know, fire can destruct, but it can also build your energy. So we all have the power through communication to either lift ourselves and other people or degenerate and destroy many beautiful and good things in our own lives. We sometimes do that, right? So it comes from many different levels we experience throughout life. So it's a matter of breaking down those mental barriers. So we need to clear those past experiences and recycling consciousness in the brain and our entire organism. So until it finds a gate to be released at peace, which is of course the best way. So many people, however, do not take responsible actions to deal with lower issues such as anger, fears, distress, jealousy, irritations, frustrations, grief, sadness, pride, despair, so much more. So it's a matter of truly allowing self just move into the sun. I can guarantee you each time, you know, I cut off the video, the sun disappears. It's something I need to figure out why this happens for a week now. Each time I record, it just is there. So let's accept it, let's share it. Past video where I talk, I think it's about the patterns of guilt or something. Whatever, and I had the sun all of the time, so I got people into their sun stream, and try that. So as we're living the extraordinary universal transitions in which everything, every element, every animal and human essence is being agitated, confronted, requested and expected to assist, inspire, co-create with the conversion of everything evil and bring life back to the planet, which is what we are essentially doing. So the more we are repairing ourselves, the more we repair the planet, the animals, the elements, and start co-creating in with our telepathic communication wavelengths with the elements, and the elements will direct us. So it's going the other way around. Of course, we need to invert every negativity, everything we created, every disease in the oceans, in our food industry, and so on. So the gold in this background represents this new golden age and the chemical power within to load the golden way, the golden road, the golden age, as that removes anything. Yeah, I also have a 5-day seminar to really move into a new breathing system, to remove the old, to move into the house of Shambhala. And that is the last topic, essentially, that is that the breath of most people, the breath is the only thing, right, that sustains you. And most people are still moving with a breathing system that breeds the matrix or the debris. So moving into the breath of light, and you open up your energy field, you get more and more and more energy, you purify more and more, is the most essential thing that needs to be taught on the planet. So I'll break that down in another video. There's a lot of explanation to it. You can look the 5-day moving out of the old into the gold up. It's also in the description if you like it. But you see, the design is to the point, and the art of transformation comes through you, from you, and with you. If you're willing to find your purpose and your passion, there is transformation to do. Nobody goes without transformation. We all need to do that work. So, and we can be assisted with so many beautiful things on the planet. So yeah, let me know if you can do it or struggle with anything. So another part of assistance is I'm so connected to the animals. So let's see if there is an animal that has a say in this and to assist your process actually. Okay, so let's just have one card and just pull one. Whoa. I said build a new life, and thus you build a new community. The bee, you can see that with my sunlight. Yeah. The bee, you are a powerful creator. Put that in your brain. I am a powerful creator. I'm changing my life now. I'm a powerful creator. I changed my life right now. So your work blesses everything you touch. As I said before, every touch needs to be a blessing, because that is when you feel, when you're in your purpose, and you expand and you expand, and the money starts to flow and flow and flow, and that is what purpose does. So I don't agree upon the expressions that are all over Google machine, like if you want to be a billionaire, you need to become or you know, be in the surroundings or live with a billionaire. You want to be a writer, surround yourselves with writers. If you want to be an artist, surround yourself with right. I know all you need. If you want to be a monk, surround yourself or go and live with the monks. You know, I do agree. Zero. The only thing is to have everything, to become everything. Go with everything in the universe, because the universe will give you all those faculties all together through light technology, your light body alignment. It's what I went through, and so I can teach it massively, because that's the direct road. If you just choose one road, and let's say, for example, like this expression goes, if you want to be a millionaire, why would you want to be a millionaire? I don't know. If your life is so satisfying, full of passion, purpose, and the right money flow comes in, like you have more than enough for everything you want to do, I don't know, greed was born on the planet somehow. I mean, if I would earn millions and billions, you know, if my purpose and my passion leads me there, I would definitely build up for the animal kingdom. That's my true love. I would build sanctuaries. I don't know what. I would team up. I would build businesses in order to save them. That's my highest purpose, you know. And then that's so different for everybody. So if you go in light consciousness, you have all the information and data you need to open up your passion and flow into your purpose at all times. So that concludes everything. I don't pick into the mundane consciousness, so because you know it is more or less created on separation consciousness, another important item. For example, if you do that, you know, be in the surroundings with a billionaire, there may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 things you absolutely don't like. So are you learning to become a millionaire? If you need to do like 5, 10, 20, 100 things you absolutely would like to reject, you're not learning, right? So in my eyes, no. I have 0% agreement on that. I respect if you do. you know. We all have different ideas, different lifespans, and different passions, different experiences. So I certainly appreciate if you do. Let me know if you do, if you don't, or what your perspective would be on those expressions. So here a last quick card is, yeah, that really completes it. Passion and purpose comes through your dreams. Dream wild style. Dream it through, feel it through, and take the right action. Dream it through and feel it in your heart the next coming day, and bring the things into action you need to do, sorry me, to be your passion at all times. So sorry, it was a long video, but I deemed it so important, you know, to have a deeper level of explanation here, as it, you know, everybody is concerned in finding that, and anything less will no longer work, because it will more or less break you down versus making you. And we're here in the making process of the intelligent, wise, beautiful ladies and wonderful gentlemen. Thank you so much for being with me. Thank you for subscribing, clicking that bell, and commenting on my channel. Thank you, I truly appreciate. See you next time. I'll be on the video every day. Okay, thank you.